Hey everybody, welcome back. We're playing more Disney Villainous, specifically a solitaire version of Disney Villainous that you can play all by yourself, because some of us are. But we're not really, because we're watching this video together, and you're watching me and I'm helping you with your strategy for different villains, I hope. Alright, so it's gotten dark outside. I don't have my pretty daylight coming in the windows, so it looks a little uglier. I did record a game of Jafar earlier when I did have daylight, but it went too fast. He got too lucky, and the game was over really quick, and it wasn't that interesting or challenging, and I don't want to bore you all. If you're, we're trying to kill some time here. Let's at least kill a good half an hour with a game. So I'm doing this again. And, Jafar's pretty great. He's one of those classic. Look at this. They got this nice snake motif going on with his mover. Yeah, love Jafar. So I'm okay spending some more time with him. So let's open him up. Set him in our leftmost location. Something else I'm thinking of, you guys. Sorry. As I move through this, my obsession for this game goes so far as to create my own expansions. I actually made my own Cruella expansion. I worked on it for months and months. Designed it, printed it out, assembled it, and then like a week or two later, they released Perfectly Wretched with an official Cruella expansion. But as far as I know, the next official expansion in the Villainous, excuse me, I keep hiccuping. I'm a little bit hungry, but I'm going to get through this first because I want to get this video done. The next expansion to this game is actually going to be a full 6-character game, but it's going to be Marvel villains. That is the latest news I've heard. So I don't know when we're going to see more Disney villains. So there are still some Disney villains from our favorite animated films that we haven't seen. And I've, made my own expansions for them. Some of them I have fully designed and printed out. And others I'm just kind of toying around with by using index cards to make cards. I'm working on one for McLeach with Joanna. Yeah, so I'm thinking of providing that as bonus content. If you subscribe on Patreon or donate a certain amount on Ko-Fi or what have you, that's an idea. I would have bonus content of me playing my homemade expansions, and maybe that can give you ideas for if you want to add your favorite villains to the game, and we may not see them yet, and so you're impatient like I am, and you want to play as Gaston or Chernabog or what have you. Obviously I can't. I would love to print these out and give them to people, but it is kind of a time and money consuming process, and I can't charge for that because this isn't my intellectual property. But I would be happy to provide bonus content with my own homemade games of Villainous that you can watch, and if you like them, you can make your own copies and just expand the fun of this game on your own. Okay? Does that sound cool? Cool. So we're going to play a round of Jafar. Hopefully this one is a little bit more challenging. Jafar is he's kind of a medium difficulty villain. Again, I wouldn't play him as a first timer. He's a little bit Captain Hook and a little bit Ursula in some way. So we've done videos for both of those villains already. So we start out with a locked location, the Cave of Wonders, just like in the movie. You're trying to find that cave. So just like Hook, he's got a locked location and he's trying to unlock it so he can get at what he needs. He's also trying to capture some items, or in this case, an item and a hero. And like Ursula, they need to be at a specific location. So he has his own special ways of doing that. Every villain has their own strategies, their own abilities, their own objectives. So I will walk you through that, and we'll see how this goes. Hopefully this will be a little bit more entertaining than the one. I actually just even deleted the video file. I didn't even care. I got to the end and I was done, and I was like, that was too easy and really boring. So I'm going to do this again and make it more interesting. Because, guys, we've got all the time right now, right? So might as well. So this is a solitaire version of Disney Villainous. If you look at, I believe on my Captain Hook video, I did show you a screenshot of the YouTube channel called Hyperbouillon, where I got the idea for how to play Villainous solo, and then I tweaked and added a couple rules of my own. So you can check out that video if you want to see that channel, and go to that guy and watch his content too, because he's fun. So anyway, we're all just having fun with this game. Trying to keep each other sane and occupied while we wait this whole crisis out. All right, so we have our turn counter here. We get 20 turns to accomplish our goal, and you can use a 20-sided die if you have one. You would start it with the 20 side up, and then at the end of your turn, turn it to 19, and then at the end of each turn, turn it down another number until you run out. I don't have one, so I use little stacks of coins. You can use stacks of power tokens, and at the end of each turn I'm going to discard a coin, and that'll show how many turns we have left. Okay, and then we have a 6-sided fate die. We roll that in between our turns to find out if we get fated or not. I'm hiccuping again. I'm really sorry, guys. See, the other thing is I wasn't able to get my Prilosec refills. So my stomach's going to be a little bit upset for the next couple of days. So I need this distraction. You know, my body's going to start feeling weird, and I'm going to be worried if I have symptoms of, you know, the corona. But I've got a thermometer to keep track of that. So bear with me. Yeah? All right, enough. Let's dive into the fantasy world for a while and forget these troubles. We start our turn by drawing our first hand of 4 cards. Let's see what we've got. Okay. It's a decent hand. We haven't found the item that we're looking for. Just like with Hook, we're looking for a particular item to unlock the Cave of Wonders. So I'll let you know when we get there. So, start of our first turn, we need to move to a location. And like I said in the other videos, I almost always head over to whichever location has a gain 3 power symbol and 2 play a card symbols. That's kind of your power spot, and that's a good place to go frequently to help you get things done. So I gain 3 power right away. It's a nice little boost at the start of my game, and I can play 2 cards if I want to. Okay. So I have this scrying card. A lot of villains have different types of cards in their deck that allow them to search through their deck. For a villain like Jafar, it is really important that you move through your deck to try to find that item that you're trying to find, or else you're just going to get stuck. For villains that have a locked location, that can be really challenging, especially for first-time players. Because until you unlock that thing, you're not doing anything, and so you can just sort of spin your wheels for a while. So don't spin your wheels. We're going to show you how to not spin your wheels here. So you want to move through your deck as fast as you can when you're playing a villain like Jafar, so you can find that one item that you're looking for. But you know what? I'm actually not going to do it yet, because there are 26 out of my 30 cards still here, and I'm probably not going to find the thing that I'm looking for right away. So I'm going to take the opportunity. Another thing that is good to do early on in your villain's game, especially if you're a villain like Jafar that has a lot of allies, a lot of minions under his command, is to play some allies and just get them out on the board so that you can be prepared when heroes get played against you. You're ready to go. You don't have to freak out. So we're going to play this Palace Guard. He's a pretty nondescript ally. He does the job. He only costs 1 power. He has 2 strength. See, I've got my light glaring off the cards now. So he has 2 strength. And no special abilities. He's just kind of a generic henchman. But it's fine. It's fine for what it is. And then for 0 power, see, we're being frugal right at the top of the game. See that? For 0 power, since we have 2 play card symbols, we can play 2 cards on this turn. We're going to play the scimitar. This is a lot like the cutlass in Captain Hook's game. You attach it to an ally, and they get stronger. So we're going to attach our scimitar to the palace guard, and offset it just a little, and you can't really see that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not using a very good angle. I'm cutting off the bottom of the cards, but let me show you. I'm going to play it like this, and that way you and the other players can see that we've got 2 strength plus 1, so we have an ally of 3 strength here ready to pick a fight if any heroes get in our way. Cool. So the other symbol at this location is an activate symbol. We didn't have any of those in Maleficent or Hook's game. We did in Ursula's game, but we didn't end up using any activate powers. We usually definitely will with Jafar. He has 2 activate symbols. They're both up on top, so they can be covered by heroes pretty easily. If you're playing Fate against Jafar, look for those activate symbols and maybe cover those up to kind of foil him. But basically, an activated ability is an ability, well, that you activate. You play the card and then you activate its ability later. It sits there ready to be used at the right time. Hypnotize is one of the cards we're going to use to help us win the game, but we'll go over that later. And then, like I said, scrying helps us move through our deck. But we're not going to do that yet. We've played half of our hand, so that's good. We get to draw 2 more cards. It's the end of our turn now. So we draw our hand back up to 4 cards. We've got a condition card. That's a card you play during someone else's turn. And we have an effect card. And this card lets us move heroes and allies around. Basically, you can get your hero and an ally to the same spot, so you can get the hero vanquished more easily. All right, so I tend to try to organize my hand by power cost. It just helps me see it a little bit better. So this card, the cost depends on how strong the hero is that you are hypnotizing. And then condition cards don't cost anything. So that's the end of our first turn. We lay our hand down. We discard our first coin counter. And then we roll for fate to see if we get fated. We don't. But when you roll for fate, so if you roll a 1 or a 2, you fate yourself. If you roll a 3 or 4, nothing happens. If you roll a 5 or a 6, you can play a condition card. And these are cards, like I say, that you play during someone else's turn. They help you get a little more action in when it's not your turn, especially when there's games of several players. You're not just sitting on your butt the whole time, but it means that you have to be aware of your other players and what they're up to, because you have to look for the condition. You have to see if that other player fulfills the conditions so that you can play your card. In this case, the condition would be if another player has 2 or more items in their realm. That's pretty easily fulfilled. A lot of players have items. The only character in the whole game that doesn't have any items in his deck is Scar. He's in that second box there, that orangish brown one. He has no items in his deck. So if you're playing against Scar, you're never going to be able to use this card, so you just want to discard it as soon as you can. But we rolled a 6, so we do get to play it. But what this one is reveal and play 1 card from that player's fate deck. So we don't have a player to play fate against. So what we're going to do is just take a fate action. We're going to pretend like we're at a spot where we have a fate symbol, and we're just going to play fate. So when you play fate, when you perform a fate action, you roll your fate die. If you roll a 1 or a 2, you get to gain 1 power, and that sort of symbolizes if you played fate successfully against your opponent and set them back a little bit. This means it's a little bonus for you. If I rolled a 3 or a 4, nothing would happen. If I had rolled a 5 or a 6, I would take my fate token and put it on top of my fate deck, and that would protect me the next time I got hit with fate. So there. We have played our condition card. So that means we are going into our next turn with only 3 cards in our hand. You don't redraw your hand until the end of your turn. But that's fine. We did a good thing. We got ourselves a little bit more power. That's always a good thing. Power. Power. That's what we're villains. That's what we're in this for, right? Okay. So now it's the start of our second turn. Gosh, all that happened on our first turn. We're going to go to the streets of Agrabah to snag us a little bit more power. We've got a fate action here, so we might as well just go ahead and play that. See if it does anything for us. It does. We rolled a 2, so we get to grab 1 more power. Look, look at this. Look, we're already building up the power. That's very good. It can be really tough early in your game to collect power. Especially for me, I like to play a lot of cards early on in my game, get my allies out on the board, get any useful items out there. And so I often really struggle with collecting power early on in the game. But because of these solitaire rules where we can gain power by playing Fate, we're actually doing pretty good. So, good on us. So, we have 1 play a card symbol right there, and now we're going to play Scrying. It only costs 1 power. We still have lots of power left. So, with Scrying, you have to pick a type of card, either an item or an ally. And we're going to reveal cards from our deck until we find one of those. So the thing we're searching for right now is a particular item. It's an item that unlocks the Cave of Wonders. All right, and when we find it, I'll show it to you. So we're going to see if we can find that item by playing Scrying. I'm going to say, I am searching for an item. And we're going to reveal cards. The language on the cards is really important. Reveal cards. That means you turn the cards over and all the players can see them. They are revealed. So let's turn this on, and it's an item. So I've already found an item, not the one I was looking for. Not terribly useful to me at the moment, but that's the risk you take. And we didn't even really move through our deck very much. That was kind of a bummer. But oh well. Yeah, if we had a really strong hero, we could always attach this scimitar to that palace guard. He can hold, he's talented. He could hold 2 swords at once. And make him even stronger. But you know what? Because I'm really interested in finding that item that unlocks the Cave of Wonders, I'm going to keep this card because that is useful to me for later. If I really need to discard it later, I can, but I'm going to hold on to it for now. You know what? No, I'm just going to do it. We're going to discard our entire hand using the discard symbol. When you play the discard symbol, you can discard 1 card, you can discard 2, you can discard as many cards as you want to get you towards your goals. So I'm just going to let it all go. Jafar is in this to win this. He's leaving it all on the field. Sorry, I don't usually use sports metaphors, and I suspect Jafar doesn't either. So we're going to redraw our hand back up to 4, and let's see what we've got. That was my this is okay but not great sigh. Alright, we didn't find what we were looking for, but I mean, hey, we still moved through quite a bit of our deck. That was kind of the point. That was only our second turn. Alright, so let's roll for Fate. We rolled a 1, so Fate gets played against us. The first time I played Jafar in that deleted recording, I did not get Fate played against me at all, as I can remember. Maybe once. I don't know. But here we go. Okay, so this is interesting. So this is a card that you attach to a hero to make them stronger, but as you can see, we have no heroes, so we automatically can't play this one. So we have to choose this one. Treachery. Jafar loses 2 power. This isn't the most powerful card in his Fate deck, but it's kind of a bummer. We just lost 2 power. We're down to 2 power. That can be really useful later if Jafar is trying to hypnotize someone, specifically the genie, and you could take away some of his power, which makes him unable to afford to do that. Okay. So that was fate. Let's move back to the Oasis. Have ourselves a little cocktail and relax at the Oasis. Gain 3 power. So let's look at this. We've got this condition card again, which we can only play during someone else's turn. The condition, whoops, oh my goodness, sorry. The condition here, if you were playing this against live opponents, is that another player has to have 3 or more allies in their realm. If you'll recall, when we played Ursula, she only has 2 allies in her deck. So she would never meet this condition. So if you're playing against Ursula, there are a couple of other villains that only have 2 allies, or they just don't tend to have a lot of allies out. This is a card you can get rid of because you're not going to end up playing it. Sorcerer's Power, move a hero to any unlocked location, blah, blah, blah. I can't use that. And these are basically insta-kill. If you don't have any allies handy, you can just play a snake. A snake, am I? Oh, that worked out pretty well. And defeat them right away, but they have to be at Jafar's location. But again, no heroes. So this is like not my favorite hand ever. And I don't have a discard symbol at my location, so I can't even discard any of them. I'm just kind of stuck. Blech. Okay. But, you know, on the other hand, I've got 5 power now. I recovered from that treachery. And I'm saving up for things in the future. All right. I can already tell you this is going better than the last video, only because it's more of a it's been more of a challenge. I'm not unlocking Cave of Wonders and winning right away. So we'll probably keep this video. All right, nothing happens. Or no, I'm sorry. I rolled a 6, so I can play this. So what this condition card allows me to do is take a card from my discard pile and put it into my hand. This is really more useful later in the game when I've played a lot of cards and I have something of a discard pile. I don't really have much of anything here. But you know what? Just to get this out of my hand, because I don't want it, I'm going to play it anyway. I'm going to take my Hypnotize card back. This is another way to defeat a hero. You have to pay power according to equal to their strength, and then you move that hero to the bottom of your board and they become an ally. You can't use their ability, but you can just use their strength and you can use them as an ally, you know, take out another hero, that kind of thing. So obviously that's very useful, and that's very Jafar-like to put an ally under his control. And it's ultimately what we're going to use to get the genie under our control. So, you know, it's not bad to have this card in your hand. There's just not a lot I can do right now. All right, so it's back to our turn. I'm going to keep moving back and forth between the 2 locations that have power symbols, just so I can keep saving up. We also have a discard symbol here. We also have our fate symbol, so we'll just roll this. Nothing happens. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hang on to Hypnotize just because it keeps hopping back in my hand, and I'm gonna get rid of the rest of my hand because we need to move things along. Jafar is persistent but not patient. Okay, that's the end of our turn. We're not doing anything else. I'm gonna redraw our hand back up to 4. Aha, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, got that darn condition card again. This is the item we need. This is going to unlock the Cave of Wonders. I wish I could do that voice. I believe that was Frank Welker who played the Cave of Wonders. He's this legendary voice artist who does a lot of animals. He played the voice of Abu in the movie. He does a lot of animal noises, but I'm pretty sure he's also the one who voiced the Cave of Wonders. And I cannot do what he does. He's a legendary professional. But what I can do is play this game. So that's the end of our 4th turn. I'm going to roll for fate. Nothing happens. We rolled a 4. Good for us. And we're going to get a move on here. We have banked quite a bit of power despite being hit with fate earlier. We've pretty much overcome that. So we get to play our Scarab Pendant to unlock the Cave of Wonders. So for 3 power, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to play it to the Cave of Wonders. Unlock that sucker. And now we have a whole new location open. Also, the Scarab Pendant comes with a really nifty ability. While it's still sitting in your realm, when you draw cards at the end of each turn, draw 1 extra card. So Jafar basically gets to have 5 cards in his hand. And that's very useful because he's still looking for items. We're looking for the magic lamp. Remember, start your turn with the magic lamp at Sultan's Palace. Finding this was just the beginning. That was the first thing we needed to find. So we've unlocked the Cave of Wonders now, which allows us to play the magic lamp once we find it. But we got to find that thing. And being able to pull more cards into our hand helps that. So, do I need any other? No, I don't. Okay, so Necessary Sacrifice might come in useful later. You can discard an ally or an item from your realm and gain 3 power. Since a lot of our allies are sort of just cannon fodder, they're useful to get rid of. If we're really desperate and we need some power, we don't so much right now because you can see we have a decent pile going. And we got this condition card again. All right, so fun part, we get to draw up to 5 cards. Iago, hey, good, we needed him. He helps us out a lot. We'll get to him later. And then another palace card. That's fine. All right, so I'll arrange these by power, cost, and we will be done with our turn. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing this very aesthetically. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's the end of our 5th turn. We're a quarter of a way through the game, and we've made some progress, so that's good. That feels good. I feel good about this game. I feel better than I did about the last game. So let's roll for fate. Nothing happens, but we can play, let's just get that condition card out of our hand again. Although I don't really know if there's anything that I want. Ooh, yeah, there is. I'll take scrying back. That can help me find the lamp. Hey, good for me. See, like I say, Jafar's resourceful. He makes the situation work for him. I think that's the mark of a good villain, right? All right. So that was the fate roll, and now we're back to our turn. Now that Cave of Wonders is open, let's just mosey on over there. Let's explore what we have. We have a gain 2 power symbol, so we will happily take that. We have a play a card symbol. So what we're going to do is play Scrying, that card that we just rescued from our discard, and that only costs 1 power. So we're going to say that we're looking for an item, because I'm trying to find the magic lamp. I really would hardly ever be looking for an ally unless I was looking for Iago. He's very useful, but I've already got him. So, thank you, Iago. Let's look for the lamp. Oh my lord, that was super lucky. We found the lamp on the first try. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. I'm okay with the pace at which this is going. I had the lamp like on my 2nd turn the first time I recorded this. So, all right. So, so I don't need to discard anything really. I've got Iago and I've got the magic lamp. Those are cards I need. And I have hypnotized for when I find the genie later. I don't really need to discard anything. I'm fine. I have really found what I need to find. So that's the end of our 6th turn. We'll roll for fate. Nothing. Unless we have a condition card. We do not, so we don't do anything. Okay. Cool. I want to play 2 cards at once. Or on the same turn, rather. So we're going to gain 3 power. We're going to play Iago first for 1 power. Now you'll find that in a lot of villains games where they have a whole horde of minions and then their special sidekick usually has a unique ability that helps them accomplish their objective. In Iago's case, it's being able to move items. So you'll recall on our objective, we're trying to get the magic lamp to Sultan's Palace. And you'd usually just normally do that with a move item or ally symbol. But Jafar only has one in his entire realm. Usually they have a couple of them, so it's an extra challenge for him. But with Iago, he can activate him, and Iago can move with an item. And that item would, of course, be the magic lamp. So let's play that there lamp. What happens when we play lamp? First, we have to play it to the Cave of Wonders. So that's why we have to unlock the Cave of Wonders first, because you can't play anything to a location that's locked. So we're good there. We've unlocked it. We're going to play it for 4 power. That's very expensive, but look at our savings. We've been so good with that. And then when Magic Lamp is played, find Genie and play into the Cave of Wonders. So we're going to put Magic Lamp here, and then we need to find the Genie in our Fate deck. That's a Wish, that's not Genie. Crush and Blow, we got Raja, we got Carpet, we got, oh lord. Okay guys, I know. Sorry to scare you. Aladdin was one of my all-time Disney crushes. I mean, how could you not love him? And I love the art on this game. It's so much fun. The movers have these really cool designs. We have this black color scheme for Jafar and all these great representations of scenes and characters from the movies on the cards and on the board. And then suddenly we get to Aladdin's card, and what happened to this poor guy? I don't recognize him. Sorry to this man. I don't know this guy, and it breaks my heart. I'm sorry, Aladdin. I'm gonna stop looking at that. I'm gonna keep looking for the Genie. There's Princess Jasmine. She did fine. She looks great. I don't know why they couldn't do that for Aladdin. Here's the Genie. All right, so we're gonna play him to the Magic Lamp's location. Then we're going to shuffle our deck. Oh god, you guys are seeing me. How I mash my cards together to shuffle them. But that's what you do when you're instructed to find a card. You find the card in the deck, and then you shuffle that deck because you've had to look at the deck, so you need to randomize it again. So we put this back. Alright, so what's Genie's ability? He gets +2 strength if Magic Lamp is at his location. So the lamp is at his location right now, which means his strength is 8. So you remember, we have to have the Genie under our control. So we would do that by using Hypnotize. And the cost is the hero's strength. So right now it would cost 8 power to hypnotize a Genie. We've been quite frugal, but we don't have that. So that's not happening right now. But I'll tell you what is happening. We get to use an activate symbol. We're going to pay that 1 power for Iago to be activated, and he is going to move 1 space over with the magic lamp. So that gets the lamp closer to the Sultan's palace, and it also takes it away from Genie's location. So now Genie is back down to 6 strength. So we've got to gain some power to take care of the Genie there. But that'll come. That'll happen. We're getting there. We've got another necessary sacrifice. Okay. I don't know. That could actually... well, we'll think about that. Oh, I'm sorry. We still got the pendant, so we actually get to draw up to 5. Another palace guard. Okay, not that interesting, but, you know, not everything is fun in games, even when you're playing a fun game. So that is the end of that turn. We will roll for fate. We rolled a 1, so we're gonna get fate played on us. What's gonna happen? Oh, okay. There's the Sultan. Kind of a middling hero, and you can't use the palace guards to defeat him. You'd have to use Iago or the captain of the guards, Rajul, I think is his name. I can't remember. But we're not going to play him right now because Abu is much more useful to our cause. So, Abu and Aladdin actually have the same ability. So what happens is when you play them, you choose an item at his location and attach it to him. Jafar cannot use the item. When Abu is defeated, the item is returned to Jafar at the same location. Cool. So it's sort of similar to Ariel and Ursula's game where she keeps Ursula from getting the item to where it needs to be. But in this case, we actually take the item and attach it to Abu. So we're going to snag that lamp away from Jafar and attach it to Abu. And like I say, Aladdin has the exact same ability, but his strength is higher. So it is more of a hassle for Jafar to defeat him. But this is hassle enough. This is hassle enough. Cheeky little monkey. So now we've had the magic lamp stolen from us. And we gotta get it back. We sure do. But Abu's only 2 strength, and we've got palace guards all over the place. So we'll take care of this soon enough. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is definitely a better game than the last one. This is showing you more stuff. I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad I made that decision. All right, so we're starting our next turn, yeah? Yep. Oh, yeah. This is simple enough. Yeah, okay. We're just going to move to the Sultan's palace. We don't collect any power here. We've already got 4 power, though, so we're in good shape. You know what? This is actually going to be a good round. So for 1 power, we're going to play a palace guard to Abu's location. And that guard is 2 strength, so that matches Abu. And we're going to use our Vanquish symbol and vanquish Abu. Come here. Try not to bend you. So we've defeated Abu. We return the magic lamp to Jafar's possession. And then we have an activate symbol here. So we're going to go ahead and pay 1 power and activate Iago again. And we're going to move that lamp. So Abu held us up for a little bit, but we managed to work our way around it because we're, again, resourceful, we're adaptable, we figure these things out. And then we're going to perform a fate action. See if we can get ourselves a little bit of help. We do. We get 1 strength, or 1 power. Okay. That was a good round. Things went well for us. It's the end of our turn. We still have the Scarab Pendant, so we get to draw up to 5, back up to 5 cards total. That's always nice. Ooh, we have a giant hourglass. Okay, this is actually going to really help us against the genie. Okay, but we'll get to that later. Hee hee. All right. We're getting there, guys. We're making it happen. This is a very interesting game. I'm liking it. That was turn number 8. Roll for fate, and we rolled a 5. We don't have any condition cards in our hand, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to start our next turn. I'm going to hop over here to the Oasis. I've got some things to do. Okay. First, I'm going to play the giant hourglass for 1 power. And the hourglass's activated ability is that a hero or all the heroes at its location get -2 strength until the end of your turn. So that could make it significantly cheaper to hypnotize the genie. All right, so I think that's just what we're going to do. We're going to activate, boop, boop, the giant hourglass. It turns the genie down to 4 strength. So we've already played one card. We're going to play a second card, hypnotize. And so for 1, 2, 3, for strength or power, I keep mixing up those terms. We're going to hypnotize the genie and move him to the bottom of the board. He is now under our control. We ignore his ability, so he no longer gets the +2 strength if Magic Lamp is at his location. He just becomes like a generic ally, like one of these guys, except he has 6 strength. So if we wanted to, we could use him as an ally to defeat a hero, but we need him under our control to win. So we're not going to do that. We're going to keep Genie under our control. The Magic Lamp is 1 space away from Sultan's Palace, so we are in a good spot. We've used all our action symbols at that location, and we're going to draw up to 5 cards. We've got Scrying, which really isn't that useful at all to us, but that's fine. There aren't any particular cards we really need right now. Okay, that was turn number 9. We're almost halfway through our allotted turns, and we've just about got this thing wrapped up. 6. Okay, so we don't get Fate played against us, and we don't have a condition card to play. Fine by me. So I can get the Magic Lamp to Sultan's Palace in one of 2 ways. I can move over here to the Cave of Wonders and use the move an item or ally symbol and just move the lamp by itself. Or I can head over here to Sultan's Palace and use the activate symbol on Iago. And just out of tradition, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay the last of my power and move Iago with the lamp over to Sultan's Palace. We have snagged that lamp. We have hypnotized the genie. And you know what? We can still play a card. So I'm just going to play Necessary Sacrifice because it costs 0 power and I ain't got any power. So I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to discard one of my palace guards and just snag 3 power. Just in case I need that. Because what does it say? This says start your turn. So we need to start our turn. So this is the end of our turn. We'll draw our hand back up to 5 cards. And then that was our 10th turn. I'm going to roll for Fate and see what happens. 5. I was almost kind of hoping I would get Fate played against me because that would be a little more interesting. But I didn't. So now my turn starts. I have the genie under my control, and I have the magic lamp at Sultan's Palace. So we've won. Like I said, oh, there he is again. Oh my goodness. Aladdin has the same power as Abu, but he's got more strength. So if he had showed up during this turn, he would have stolen the lamp. And that would have really set us back. We'd have to defeat Aladdin first. Narrow escape brings a hero back into your realm to bother you. Wish makes a hero stronger. Raja's just sort of a generic hero, but she's pretty strong and she gets stronger if Princess Jasmine's around. Crushing Blow lets you discard allies. You usually want to target Iago on this because that makes it harder for Jafar to move the lamp. Carpet. Not very strong, but Jafar would have to defeat him first. So you could play the carpet and then Jafar would have to defeat the carpet before he could defeat the genie and control him, or defeat Aladdin and get the lamp back. That sort of thing. Jasmine has a nice power. She actually negates the ability of the Scarab Pendant. He draws 1 less card at the end of his turn. So he's back to drawing 4 cards. Or if it's early in the game and he hasn't found the thing yet, he can only have 3 cards in his hand. So that's annoying. Oh, sorry. Let's stop looking at him. So those are the heroes we didn't get to play, but I think we got to see enough. We got to see how Abu's ability worked to set Jafar back. Iago came in really handy. We got to use our giant hourglass. Good times. Good times, guys. That was a much better game than the last one. So thank you for sticking with me, even though you kind of have no choice because we can't go anywhere. There are 3 more villains left in the original... It's over there. In the original game. No, I'm sorry. There's 2 more. Queen of Hearts and Prince John. So those are the next 2 villains that I'll be making videos for. I hope you enjoyed this. It still could have been a little more challenging. We didn't get faded that much, but I think you saw enough to kind of get an idea of what Jafar is up against. Yeah? Okay. Cool. I'm starving, and I have some ravioli to make, so that's what I'm going to do. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.